I probably would if I cared.
Oh, now we're going.
Now we're going. Okay, I hope you still remember the thing we're going to talk about, Heather. Hang on to it if you don't.
I got
okay,
it.
good.
I got
Okay,
it.
keep it in your head.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So we are. You son of a bitch. Says the person who has not listened to Kristen's podcast and so has no idea what the joke is.
Oh, God.
Bam, outed as the worst best friend ever.
Called out!
To be fair.
Called out! No, there's no.
No, there is no fair. The fairness is you're a shitty friend. That's all there is to it.
When I have that kind of block of free time, I'm on the fucking phone with her.
So have her play it. Solve the
We would
problem.
just talk over it like we do over everything.
That sounds not at all annoying.
See,
okay.
It seems like if you're not on the phone with her, you should still be thinking about her and listening to her podcast. If I had a best friend like that, that's what I'd be doing.
Don't you even defend her. Okay.
She doesn't even listen to your podcast. I'm your best friend.
I
now.
listen to your podcast.
Right?
Even like the hot dog thing I listen to. So, like, come on.
Heather doesn't know what the hot dog thing is.
She totally has no idea. Okay.
Is it about Steve and his hot dogs?
No. Let's bring it back. Let's not fight. Let's not fight.
Well, so there's no need to fight. I'm her best friend now. Argument over. So
Sorry, Kristen. Reb's your new best friend. Sorry, that's how that works. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was like road rage in general, because I had the most amazing experience on the way to the show tonight. So I'm on SPID. It doesn't matter if you're not local and you don't know what I'm talking about. But basically SPID... It's
the main road that runs through Corpus.
Right. And it goes to Highway 37, which is the highway that runs from Corpus to San Antonio.
Connects everything in Texas. Right.
So when you're getting off... when you're merging onto 37, not when you're getting off, although maybe I was doing that too. It's 2 lanes and they close into one. Mm-hmm. And so I'm there in the left lane, and we're all zippering like you do, like you're supposed to. You zipper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone knows what zippering? Yes. But you zipper.
But zipper, you go every other one.
Every other one, right?
That's how you merge properly.
Right, exactly. So like I at the end I like merged in between 2 cars. The guy behind me decided no, he wanted to merge in front of me, and so he sped up, and like he's in the hurricane lane. Mm-hmm. You know, there's like a little lane that they only open up during hurricane evacuations. Mm-hmm. And so he went into that lane and just started moving over, and I'm just like, nope. That's not a thing that's happening.
That is the correct response to that.
You're breaking the law, and I'd rather get in a car wreck to prove it.
Well
done.
This was his first mistake, is I give no fucks. And he apparently gave a few. Because like he came over and he came really close, but I'm just like, I'm not moving, so you can hit me. But
that is one thing I miss about having a piece of shit paid off car with full coverage insurance, because I had that thing and I was just like, I drove it like I stole it and fuck everyone. Now I got my car like 3 weeks.
Drove it underwater.
It didn't work as well there as it does not underwater.
Right, it's like I got a crack on my windshield that I need fixed, so feel free to ram into me.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, also my radio, I was like, the radio worked before he rear-ended me and the speakers weren't blown. I don't throw that in there too. Also, my iPod went flying out the window.
Who has an iPod?
I don't know. I have an iThing. Anyhow,
Your
yeah,
phone?
now yeah.
Okay.
Now I have like a nice, shiny, brand new car, and I'm very careful of all the other things around me.
You give some fucks.
I give so many fucks. I'm like, go ahead. I
have a new car. Like I bought my car like less than 6 months ago. 6 months ago? Something like that. No, it was less than that. It was like 3 months ago. Anyway. How long have I had?
You've had that thing for longer than 3 months.
Dude, you've had that thing
last summer. You're right. It was last summer.
Like
a year.
Yeah.
3 months is a year
Not
in
even a year.
Ferris
It was
time.
like August. It was like August. So it's like what,
10 months.
10 months. What the
3.
fuck ever?
You were
Wow,
close.
you beat
Okay.
the shit out of that car in that amount of time.
Right.
Sir. God damn.
What was on brand new when you got it?
No, it's a used
It was
car.
new to
Oh.
you.
Oh,
New to
okay.
me, new to me. Anyway, I give no fucks. Like if you want to incur if you want to hit me, that's great. I'll be happy to call your insurance company.
Unless they don't have insurance because we live in Corpus Christi.
This
People don't
1
have
in 6
liability.
people don't.
That is a real danger.
Yeah. I still don't give any.
And if you don't have full coverage, then you're just
So
out.
anyway,
Right.
I have uninsured
so-
motorists, so fuck them.
this guy was very angry that I refused to like veer out of his way or whatever. And so, and I'm just like, I don't care. You're driving like a douchebag. You just do your own thing and whatever. But then he like whips around me, comes up next to me on the right, and like stops next to me. So, and he's like, giving me the finger, and he's yelling at me, and I just turn to him, give him a big smile, thumbs up. And yeah, and then a finger too, like
Cool
oh,
race car move, bro.
but like with the big smile, which like totally pisses people off.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they love I mean, I would love that.
I like when I can tell someone's trying to do that, I speed up and then they speed up and then I slow way down because I can tell they're trying to get next to me and I'm like,
No.
not today, fucker. I'm gonna make you work for it. And you're going by, they're like, meow, meow.
That's not what I did. I chose to aggravate him.
Oh, I feel like I that aggravates them when they're trying to get next to me.
So the next thing he tried to do is like, he forgot that I don't give any fucks, and he does give fucks. So he tried to like move into my lane. I'm like, I'm not moving, so you can hit me if you want to. But he's like, okay, just kidding. Okay, just kidding. And that just made him more angry.
Dude, and like after the first false bluff, like you
Right.
should have
You-
just given it up.
give that
Like
up.
if you're not willing to do it, you're not willing to do it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we do this thing. I'm on my way to the show, and we're doing this thing, and like he's trying to get around me so he can like get in front of me, and I'm sure just like brake check me. I'm sure that's what his
And
plan
go
was.
3 miles an hour slower than you were going. Yeah.
So I was like not letting him do that, and then when I hit like pockets where I could go around, I was like, boom, I'm over in the other lane. I'm like going 90 miles an hour and just like fuck you. Okay, so
Because he
then
has a Prius. It's like a vacuum
I
cleaner
hit
on
no.
crack.
There's a power button. You hit the power button and it accelerates like a motherfucker. And I was hitting that and just like destroying.
Dude, this guy drives like a fucking madman.
Dude, those electric motors are insane.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've prayed in that Prius before. I've prayed.
So
I've been in the car with him when he was going down the wrong lane.
this is a true story. And no, because Schaefer was on the phone with a client when I did that because I yelled, "Oh, fuck me!" Yeah. And she's like, "Dude,
And that was the same trip that you went over the curb.
it is. It is. Yeah. So I'm a good driver. Is the gist
Moral
of
of
this
the
thing.
story.
Yeah. So anyway,
You're
like,
completely safe.
How
from this
were you
vehicle.
not in a fiery wreck today?
well, let me tell you. So I'm coming up on the exit to get off to come to the show. And I'm like, well, I don't want to give him time to like follow me. So like I see a pocket and I'm like, I can time it just perfectly so I can just shoot. So I do that and I execute it fucking perfectly. I'm like, there's like no way. The dude like slams on his brakes. There's like smoke and shit coming out. Like, and he like goes past the exit, goes over the fucking median to follow me into this thing. And I'm like, there's no way I'm hitting this stoplight with this with this crazy guy.
Well, no, you go to the stoplight, and as soon as he opens the door, then you take off.
Well, no, there's like cars in front of me. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
not getting
you're
boxed
trapped.
in with this crazy person. So, like, there's an on-ramp right there. So I'm like back on the highway. And I was like, fuck.
So all of this is what you meant when you called and said,
Yes.
I'm in a high... I thought you were kidding.
No, this is true.
Yeah, when you were like,
so
I don't know how long I'm going to be. I'm in a high-speed chase with some guy that's trying to kill me. I was like, that's weird.
So we meet for dinner before the show, and like I was just calling Heather to let her know that like it might be a while because I'm not stopping while this guy is being a
Yeah,
crazy
like
person.
he was like, in case I die in this high speed chase, and I was like, do you want me to order you a beer? I didn't. He's like,
I
I'm gonna
was
die in a high speed chase. I was like, well, do you want me to order you a beer? Because the waitress is at the table.
What kind of wings are you gonna want?
So
I would have had to pour one for my homie anyway.
I
So
got all
if
the
you
way-
died,
I got all the way out of Corpus Christi before he gave it up.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was all the way out to 70s, the
Yeah.
70s, like past 77.
So I'm so glad we're talking about this because I've had my own fucking Corpus type drivers
yeah.
this week. So I guess I was the rage person this time in this instance. I drive fast.
yeah,
Ryan-
you drive
Ryan rage?
like a maniac too. You change lanes like it's going out of
Where,
style.
where are you from, Ryan?
Originally I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
These
Okay.
roads down here, they're like super speedways compared to the roads I'm used to. Like everything up
Really?
there was like
Mountain roads
35
and
mile an hour
switchbacks.
mountain roads.
Yeah.
This is so easy to drive here. Anyway, so I drive
But they
fast.
suck at it. They suck at it.
No, the drivers are terrible here. And anyway,
No, motherfuckers in Corpus Christi, they like, if they're not feeling it while they're trying to merge onto the highway, they will stop on the on-ramp. They will
Yeah.
fucking stop
It's
their cars.
awful. It's fucking
like,
awful.
what are you doing? Zipper! Zipper!
and even if they don't stop, they try to merge like 30 miles an hour below
Right.
the speed limit. Like the speed limit on the highway is 75 and you're trying to get on doing 45.
Right.
And I am going to run you the fuck over.
Exactly. Oh my god, it's so hard
It's
being
like,
a
I slowed
Yankee
down to
here.
60 for you. Now please go ahead of me
Right.
at 70. But no, they won't do that.
So Friday night, I was in a car accident.
Uh-oh.
And it was not my fault. Like, shock and awe, not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
Were you drunk?
I was not. The other driver was.
What?
Lucky you this time.
Right? Somebody's getting a little cash. So, yeah. So I was in an accident.
Did you give her Jeff's card
I,
from the last time he got you out of it? Oh, yeah, this guy really helped me out.
I did not have the opportunity because she hit me. She ran through a red light and then fucking drove off. So me, the calm, mild-mannered person that I am, I sped off at 80 miles an hour through town after her because
Like you do.
fuck that. And eventually chased her down. Somebody else saw it and called the cops. And I had a really good experience with police officers like over the last 4 days.
That's weird.
I mean, these are police officers that have In God We Trust on their cars.
I mean, but you are tall, white, straight, and American.
Right.
So
Maybe
I
have something to do
Like
with it.
I
Kind
could have
of.
been drunk and her sober. I could have driven off and she would have been arrested.
right.
I hear that if like you like piss and shit yourself like after a wreck, like you can get like more damages, like saying like I was temporarily
Mental.
like paralyzed or whatever, and it caused my bowels to become uncontrolled or whatever.
Or just pain and suffering. Or
Reb, why didn't you tell me this
What if you
beforehand?
don't get anything and everyone just tells all your friends you
everyone
pissed and
just
shit
laughs
yourself?
at you.
And it was like Ryan, he just got both his signal lights knocked out, and he's like, and now I have to throw these pants away too.
But aside from the accident, I have a real problem actually with mild road rage in Corpus. And I really don't I mean, yeah, I drive fast. I don't drive unsafe.
Yeah, exactly.
But I am so sick of people driving in 3-lane highways, driving in the left lane, 3 miles an hour into the speed limit.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
get the fuck,
Fuck
out of the way.
Right?
Dude, yeah, no.
I-
Left lane's for passing.
Yeah.
Get the fuck over.
And for those of you who are like sitting at home saying, "Oh, I live in California or Pennsylvania or wherever you live," and you think it's like, "Oh, that's just everywhere."
No.
No, it's not.
It's
No.
not. And I mean, like, I have to drive almost 40 miles to come to the show.
Right.
So, I mean, if I can save 5 minutes on that drive by doing 5 miles an hour with the speed limit that I'm never going to get a ticket for it, I don't feel that's unnecessarily and risky and whatever. And if you're in the passing lane, you should at least be doing the speed limit. Like, I don't even get mad if you're doing the speed limit, but when you're,
See, I'm from
Oh,
LA.
fuck
and
you. Fuck
What?
you. Okay, Joshua in the chat room was saying if they are going the speed limit, I excuse it. But fuck those people. No! If you're going the speed limit, you have no business in the left lane.
If you go
at
the speed
all.
limit, that should be the slow lane.
Right.
Yes.
You should be all the way to the right.
it's a minimum, Josh. That's the limit. That is the minimum limit.
That's what we're pretending limit means.
That is what limit
It
means.
doesn't mean like, yeah.
It doesn't mean the most. It means the least.
Exactly. That's the least you can do for me.
And I've never seen, like, where I'm from, there are very few 3-lane highways. A lot of stuff here is 3-lane highway, or 6-lane highway, technically. And way less traffic creates way more traffic because people drive slow in the wrong lanes. People won't pass. They'll just set their cruise control 1 mile an hour faster and won't go by the next guy. I'm like, this is so bad. People cannot drive here. And I hate them. I hate all people anyway.
Somewhat related to following people, but not because of road rage.
Just stalking.
But back when I lived in Beeville, one of the fun things in college that we liked to do when I was a community college.
I feel like this story is going to be really lame.
What we would do is
This one time in community college.
we would pick a random car that was leaving HEB or something,
Because you're an asshole.
and we would just follow them everywhere they went, even into their community and their neighborhood. Even when they
That's
went.
funny how I was joking when I said just stalking, and then it was.
That's exactly what it was.
And they'd go park at their house, and then you just kind of roll by slowly and keep going. Oh, it was because you see people get out of the car real fast and kind of look around, and you just keep going. And you don't even make eye contact.
Did you do
just,
anything talking to your sleeve as you were
No,
going by?
you just follow them everywhere they go, and sometimes you'll notice that they'll go in a circle, but you keep following them. Oh, it's so fun.
I gotta tell you,
it's so fun.
Okay, this is completely off the rails, but in high school, there was a dude we didn't like, and he hung out with us all the time. And there was one time we were gonna go to this.
I don't know. Maybe
It's kind of why Ryan hangs out with us.
Is this high school or is this CCA? And
So-
Is it tonight?
So this dude, I don't know what kind of car he had. He had this little compact thing. My friend, who I was in the passenger seat with, he had a Camaro, and he decided he was just gonna lose this guy on our way to another thing, and he pulls down so they were tearing through, so unsafe, tearing through this neighborhood, and he turns down a cul-de-sac and goes around the cul-de-sac. The guy's following us, and we're going around the cul-de-sac. He pulls behind a house. He doesn't notice, and he keeps driving around the cul-de-sac by himself.
That sounds like something that actually happened on the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon.
It
Are you
kinda
sure
felt
you
that
weren't
way.
stoned in high school and just watching the Roadrunner
This
and
is
Coyote
before
cartoon?
GPS was a thing. So.
I was like, how is that a thing? I mean, this is the same guy, at a party at my house. Someone asked him what time it was, and he had a drink in his right hand. And he turned over the cup to look at his watch. And, it wasn't just he spilled it, but, it's while he's looking at his, just spilling on the floor while he's looking
I
at his
don't
watch.
really think we should just judge people for stuff. Everyone makes a mistake or two. I've been drinking
do you
out.
resemble this remark?
I've been drinking out of beers all night, and then maybe had a cocktail with a straw, and I'll put the straw in my mouth and tilt the cocktail back. I've been guilty of doing that before. I'm so glad you didn't spit beer all over me. Yeah, I've been drinking bottled beers, switched to cocktails, put the straw in my mouth, tilted the cocktail back all over my lap. I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to need another one of these stat.
Whatever this was, I need another one. What else were we going to talk about, Heather?
Oh, the thingy. Tebow.
Tebow.
Oh, Tim Tebow! Oh, this is the best thing that's happened
What
this week.
is a Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow is a football player.
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback, and he's
He quarterbacked a few games.
he thinks he's a quarterback.
Ince Mike's done that.
No, he says Heather has done that.
Oh, I have done that.
He was
I thought he
telegraphing
was-
your story.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I just
You're
want to
the
point
dumbass.
out that Tebow has a 500 playoff record, which is better than
Most.
most.
What does that mean?
He's won as many games as he's
half-
lost in the
half the games
in the
he's played.
playoffs. Yeah. So I mean,
So
that's
he's-
pretty good.
He's won one, he's lost one.
Yeah.
That's what.
That is exactly
so
what
it's
it means.
So it's like 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
He's not doing as well as Tony Robbins is.
Right.
But-
Tony Robbins is batting 99.
Yeah.
So,
So kind of like that.
But better than Peyton Manning.
So.
And better than the Catholic Church with their priests.
Oh Jesus, dude. This is like a
That was
fun
a
story,
bad
and
callback.
you made it dark.
I make everything dark.
All right. So Krista in the chat room says we've all spilled things. Nope.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. So Tim Tebow's on an airplane. On this airplane is a gentleman who has heart problems, and he starts to have a heart attack. So two things happen. The first thing is that a nurse springs into action and starts doing CPR and trying to help the gentleman. The second thing that happens is that Tim Tebow...
Oh, I bet I can guess the story already.
Go for it. Go for it. You try and channel Tim Tebow.
Let me guess. Tim Tebow goes down on a knee and starts praying for him, and the nurse actually is able to stabilize him, and everyone goes, "Thank you, Tim Tebow, for praying for." I bet that's exactly what. And no one fucking thanked the nurse.
That's exactly what happened. And it's like all over every news outlet.
That is so
Tim
stupid.
Tebow is like praying for this dude on the plane. No one is mentioning the nurse guy who like stabilized him or whatever until they could land the plane. But Tim Tebow and not only did he take a knee and pray, but he was like
But he
leading,
also spiked a ball right before he did it.
he's like leading the entire plane in prayer. And I would just be like, go fuck yourself, dude. And then
Was there not an atheist on that entire
Right?
plane?
Right?
Not to go, whoa.
Right,
go
whenever, like-
fuck yourself.
Whenever like the news people came up, like, no, it was actually the nurse that did everything.
Right?
Tim Tebow did nothing.
Yeah.
He was all like, wishful thinking and shit. And here's the other thing. Dude died at the hospital. So thanks, Tim Tebow, but your magic was totally not effective.
Man.
That's awful. That's just fucking
He's
fucking
awful.
Fucking Tim Tebow.
He just stopped at prayers and didn't continue on with the thoughts, and that's where he dropped the ball.
I just want to.
Oh,
That's not
which
the
is-
only time he dropped
which
the
is
ball.
a good
He was
pun.
like- that was like totally why he's not a quarterback anymore.
I just want to point out that taking a knee and praying is actually referred to as Tebowing.
Yes. Exactly. And so thank you for doing that, Tim.
That's like the definition of just absolute stupidity. It's like I prayed for this person and I get all the credit for it, even though technically it was a total failure overall. But it's still, I'm amazing because I prayed and I'm famous.
Right. And literally every fucking headline about this is Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. Meanwhile, the dude
Don't
who's-
know the nurse's name.
Right.
Have no
I
idea.
have no idea.
Right.
Yeah. Not reported. Just some dude who knew what he was doing.
Somebody actually did CPR and everyone else stood around and prayed.
Krista in the chat room says, and when he died, they blamed Obama. That's a perfect point to end
I
the
wish
show on.
someone just like had the balls to be like, you know what, you guys pray, and I'm just gonna step back and let's see how it works out.
Right? Yeah. I have medical training, but you guys have this apparently.
Right.
You've got it? You've got it. Okay. So we're done?
Thanks, Obama.
Actually, I was just wondering if I could talk about one more topic.
Sure.
Oh.
It's a little contentious about gun control or whatever.
Oh dear.
What do you guys think about the no fly list, no gun list thing?
Okay.
Like,
God.
I have mixed feelings about
I
it.
do
I was
too.
wondering
Don't make
what,
us think about it.
I was wondering what y'all's thoughts and prayers
Okay,
were on.
so I'm going to say, let me start. I'm going to say like the most unpopular thing, which is I am for banning most weapons, like almost all. However, I think it's bad policy to let the government arbitrarily decide unless they're giving it to a judge who is going to look at evidence. I think that's a bad fucking law.
All right, so I'm on board. I don't think there's like, I don't know, whatever we can do to get like rid of 99% of the guns. I don't know that necessarily all of them have to go. There are certain sporting reasons.
I said most.
Yeah, there are certain reasons. If you can justify it, then you get to keep your gun. It's got to be a really fucking good reason, though. Like, not because I want to hunt deer, or not because I want to keep the government from taking my gun. Also, what we're talking about is a suspension of due process.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So due process is an important part of our court system that you can't just take away somebody's rights without cause. However, we suspend temporarily due process all the time. Like, you arrest somebody without knowing that they've actually committed the crime because you have reasonable suspicion for it. Okay. I have no problem with somebody being flagged on the no-fly list so they can't buy the gun. And then, hey, why am
Due process.
Due process from there, like, and make it quick. Don't make them wait 3 months, but make it quick enough to be like, why am I on the no-fly list? I didn't know I was on the no-fly list. Is this something that can be cleared up, or am I a terrorist and didn't know it?
My brother's an airline pilot, and he was on the no-fly list for a while.
Okay. What was there any sort of justification for that?
Well, it was he had the same name as some other dude.
Okay. How long did that take to clear up?
Longer than it should have. A lot longer than it should
Are we
have.
talking
And he was a white
months,
male.
weeks,
And he's
years?
a white.
Yeah.
No, we're talking like months, probably.
Okay, couple months.
See, if I ended up on the no-fly list, I would just never have to fly again because that's not something I'm about to fuck with. I'd be like, hey, can you get me off that thing? No? All right. Fuck it. I take the bus with Willie now.
That bus is a lot more fun than the plane. Just
Right?
So you know.
I guess it, and this was not part of what the Democrats are sitting in on and trying to make happen. But I don't have a problem with, hey, no fly, no buy. Also, you have to give, it has to be cleared up in 3 weeks. So you have to, so whatever process that you need to go through.
This is something you can put in. I want to throw it to the chat room real quick because we had 2 comments that I think that were really good. Kristen first said, if we don't think you're safe enough to be on a plane, why should we sell you a gun? I agree with that. Insmike follows up with the no-fly list is a product of knee-jerk post-9/11 security mania that didn't really do much and ultimately hurt a lot of people who are completely innocent but have names like Ahmed and Muhammad, and I agree with that too.
Or are just brownish in general.
Right.
So I don't necessarily, does it have to be the no-fly list?
Well, even that's kind of the same issue, isn't it?
What?
The no-fly list, isn't that very similar to the no-gun-buy list?
Yeah,
Yeah, don't you think that no gun buy list would be chock full of minorities and
Mostly guys named Ahmed and Muhammad.
yeah.
I don't
Because their
know. I feel
names-
like guys named like Bubba
Trevor?
on Facebook should really not have the guns. And if I was in charge of flagging people not allowed to buy guns, there would be a whole lot of Bubbas.
Yep, there's a kind of a disconnect between you and what actually occurs on these things.
Do you feel like there's any merit to the, to the point where, like, because you do have a constitutional right to own a gun, right? So if you can be, well, I mean, it's the Second Amendment of the Constitution, so you have a constitution, with limits. But do you think it's okay for just a secret list to be made to deny you that?
Why does it have to
amendment?
be secret? I have no problem with it being public.
Well, the no-fly list is secret right now. So
yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a slippery slope there where eventually they could apply it to other amendments in the Constitution?
Don't make slippery slope arguments to me when I know that the Second Amendment does not guarantee the right of everybody to own a gun, just to own a gun.
But there are limits on free speech. What if one of those limits was if you're on this list, you don't get free speech?
Is somebody proposing that?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, if that's one
Reb is gonna rub the fuck
well,
out
no,
of it.
I'm just like I'm wondering if there's any merit to the argument. I'm wondering what you think about it. I have my own opinions on it, but do you think that if they can put you on a secret list to deny you your Second Amendment rights, could they put you on a secret list to deny you your First Amendment rights?
No, but I don't believe that the Second Amendment is not.
I know.
People are denied their First Amendment rights on a temporary basis all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And while we might not always like it. Sometimes it is necessary for society to move forward. So you can't let, I don't know, 1 million people keep the president from walking down or getting down the street. I'm coming up short on a good example.
Well, I mean, you can't yell fire in a theater.
Okay. So
Unless there's actually
while you're in a theater, that right is temporarily suspended, and they are not absolute. Just like the right to own a gun is not absolute.
No rights have been are
Right.
absolute. Right.
But do you think, like, if you can put someone on a secret list for the Second Amendment, could you put them on a secret list for the First
I
Amendment?
think and a no-fly list is probably not a good enough list, comparably speaking. However, if you can be shown that your speech has in the past caused harm to other people, fine, put them on that list. I have no problem with that.
I gotta say, I in our age where things happen so fast and travel can happen so quickly, I think. Oh, I thought that was a joke. Okay. You should have gone with my excuse, Kristen.
And that wasn't spelling, that was grammar. She spelled good, right?
She did. I do think, well, for example, like War Powers Act, like I think it's like it made a lot of sense to say, when you had to pack your army onto a boat and send them 7 months to another place, yeah, it made sense that you had to get congressional approval first.
Yeah.
But when you have like army people everywhere, you have planes that can strike a thing in
An hour.
that it makes sense that the president should have some leeway in that. Same thing with this is that I think that there needs to be some leeway to create a list where it's like, whoa, we've identified this guy. It might be a problem. Maybe it's not. Put him on the list to minimize any damage he might cause in the meantime while we give him due process.
Right. So I guess now that you've said that, your comparison, Reb, would be not a list of First Amendment people to keep them from being able to have free speech. That sentence made no sense. A list of people that you would deny their First Amendment or free speech right to. It would not be that. It would be a list of people that you wouldn't give a permit to hold a public assembly in a park. And if they were denied, they'd be like, oh, I'm denied. Why am I on this list? And then you say, oh, well, because you did all this shit. So while they would still have their right.
Do you think there's potential where someone shouldn't have the right to assemble peaceably? I mean, are there limitations on that?
Yes.
Oh, there are. Oh, what are the limitations on that?
There are many limitations, like more than there should be.
At any point when it causes public harm or distress. So,
like, I can't have a NAACP march on the day that the KKK are having a march.
Right.
For
Just
example.
like the KKK can't have a march on the day.
Yeah. Right.
I'm in the NAACP. Just saying.
I'm going to give the chat room the last word on this post show. Kristen says, also, how much sense does it make to base our laws on a document written by with a feather? Fucking A, right? Innsmite gets the last word. He says, I have a solution. If you want to buy a gun, you have to undergo a drug screening and give a urine sample, but the urine sample has to be given via catheter. Nobody will buy a gun. Okay. I can get on board with that. We'll see you guys next week.